Well, you buy a house, let's say it costs $1 million, and they give you a whole bunch of a number of things you can choose from. Interest only, just a minimal payment, normally 50% of what you'd normally pay if you were getting a loan at X interest rate. And then usually the term for the rollover of the loan to get a new loan is 5 years. And they started last year, so they've got 4 years to go from the inception of when they started to do those kind of loans. So it can be any combination of things. I mean, some of these people who have $1 million homes are making payments of $500 or $800 or $1,200 a month.
What is what right now is the status of all of these homes that have been foreclosed upon? I mean, where are they going? Are they just keeping them empty all over the United States?
Well, there's a lot of them. There's about an 8-month supply, but if you throw in all of the ones that the banks don't have under the multiple listing service put up there, I mean, they're hiding them because they don't want to put them all out at the same time for sale, especially in a small area. It's probably more like 10 to 12 months that they have an inventory. Normal inventory is 4 months.
Okay,
and recently...
I'm going to say, let's take some phone calls. We're going to go to the break. I want to take some phone calls from you for our guest, Bob Chapman, 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. Back. That's right. You, all I got to give, if you say you love me too. I may not have a lot to give, but what I got, I'll give to you. Welcome back to the Power Hour, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. And you heard about that Frank special. Yeah, 1 franc. You buy 1 franc from Midas, and you get a year of the International Forecaster. That is awesome. $159 value from Ted Anderson and Midas Resources when you purchase 1 franc. You get the International Forecaster. That is awful good opportunity there. I think people should jump on that one. Don't you, Bob?
Well, I certainly do. He's certainly losing money on it.
That is a great opportunity. That's a great.
It's a good way to introduce people to a publication he thinks a great deal of.
That's right. That is exactly right. That's why he promotes it. Let's go to Richard in Texas. Richard in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
This is a question and a thought to Bob. We loaned the companies, General Motors, Chrysler, the banks, all this money. I don't believe that when they make a profit that they ought to put that in their private accounts, millions of dollars. I think we ought to take their profits. Why should the taxpayers take their debt, but they use the profits as private money-making operations? I believe if they make money, we should take the money they made. We should also, if we're taking their debt, we should go both ways. It ain't right for them to take all the profit, make millions of dollars, while the taxpayers are getting hit all over the place. The profits ought to go to the taxpayers.
Okay, let me get his response to that.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. I don't think all of the profit, because profit was made in other areas that might not have been affected, but to put a excess profits tax of 50% for a short period of time, that period being any time that they make exceptional earnings due to the fact that they will lend money very inexpensively so they wouldn't go bankrupt. And, you know, they're still carrying 2 sets of books. This is one of the things behind the scenes that they don't tell you about. And your comments are nominal and correct. But what they're not telling you in Wall Street and Washington is they have 2 sets of books. And in one set of books is all the bad stuff. And then the set of books is all the good stuff. And then they slowly move the bad stuff over to the good stuff so that they can write off the losses over a period of time. And so that's the justification that government, Wall Street, banking uses. And it's very misleading. But I think more than anything else, it's in your face. You have Goldman Sachs, Lloyd Blankfein says several weeks ago, we're doing God's work. And I don't think very many people agree with that. And it was an arrogance in telling you American people to take a hike, and we're going to make as much money as we want, and you can't do anything about it because we run everything. And it just is arrogant. I mean, you saw Geithner at the hearings. Of course, Paulson was a bumbling idiot, which he's not, but he wasn't in that hearing. And so it's right for among the Illuminati. They think that they're better than all of us.
Oh, yeah. It's so disgusting. Thank you very much, Richard from Texas. John in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Hi there, John.
Yes.
Go ahead, please. You're on with Bob Chapman.
Oh, wait. Let me turn down my radio.
Okay, let me go to Richard in Virginia while you're doing that. Richard in Virginia, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, hi.
Hi there.
Look, my question is about the gold prices right now. I'm looking at a chart right now, and I want to ask your opinion of what traditionally in stocks has been called the panhandle effect. As you could see, since January 22nd, the price, within $15, it's gone from about $187 and all the way up to almost $1,200, and then it just dipped over the last few days down.
Okay, I'm not sure what you're talking about. We'll talk about the panhandle effect after you get back. We'll be right back with Richard in Virginia and Bob Chapman, theinternationalforecaster.com. Let me go back to Richard in Virginia. He had a question about the panhandle effect. Do you know enough information from that to give him an answer, Bob Chapman?
Well, the answer is you can't use short-term charts. It's impossible. The government's in the market, and you can go 3 days in a row and be up $3 or $4 each day, and all of a sudden you're down $25 because the government decided that they wanted it knocked down that day. And so you can't use them. If you look at the long-term chart, you get a reverse head and shoulders. Invest for the long term. There's a great opportunity to go in and buy here, even if you're wrong. And gold went down to $10.33. Big deal. Where is it going to? It's going to $3,000 or $4,000, $5,000.
Yes, eventually
so why worry
it will.
About it?
That's right. Thank you very much for the phone call, Richard. Let me go back to John in Texas now if he's got his radio turned down. John, are you there?
Yeah, hi, I'm here.
Okay.
I wanted to ask about scrap gold prices because you hear all these commercials about mailing in gold, which I would never do. But my question is, is it a good time now to say sell what would be considered scrap gold?
Okay, let me go to Bob. Bob, there are a lot of jewelry stores and everybody are now saying, sell your gold here, pawn shops, whatever. What do you think about that?
Well, that's keeping them all in business because business is dreadful because gold's gone up and silver's gone up. But the bottom line is they'll offer you 30 cents on the dollar. When do you sell it? Not now. You sell it later if you have to or want to sell it because prices are going higher. So they're just taking advantage of a situation where they can make a profit.
And get it. They're trying to get it cheap now.
That's right.
All right, let's go to Scott in Georgia. You're on the air. Go ahead, please, Scott.
Hello.
Hi there.
How are you today?
Outstanding. Go ahead, please, with Bob Chapman.
I just want to thank you for your advice. I took the proceeds from my house and I invested most of it in gold and silver, and I have some money left over, and I also have the money that's left over and the gold and silver, most of the gold and silver in the safe deposit box in the bank.
Ooh.
Now, if they do have a bank holiday, okay, they're going to be closed for a while, or I don't know, they may be gathering outside with the pitchforks and the torches, but will they allow you to go in and get your items out of your safe deposit box?
Chances are 98% no.
Really?
And besides, Homeland Security can go into those boxes if they deem necessary to see what all of these terrorists are hiding in their boxes, like money and gold and things like that, and they can confiscate them.
So they'll use any excuse.
You do not want to have anything of value other than paperwork in a vault in a bank. Buy a safe, $2,000. It's 6 foot high, 4.5 feet wide, weighs around 400, 500 pounds. That's the way for you to go.
And don't advertise that you've got it. John in New Mexico, you're on the air. Go ahead, please, John, with Bob Chapman.
Hi, Joyce. Hi, Bob. Yesterday, I heard probably the biggest voice in money talk, Bob Brinker, actually say that Ron Paul didn't know what he was talking about. He's not an economist. And I have to ask the question, is Bob Brinker a paid mouthpiece, or is he just not aware of what's going on?
He certainly knows what's going on. He's very bright. He used to have a good program. And obviously somebody said something to him from government or from his network, and he's taken the part of the government. He's anti-gold. He's anti-anything that brings forward what we talk about on this program. And I think it's tragic because he's a very bright man. He really knows the markets. And he's, as far as I'm concerned, he's not telling you the truth.
Wow. Okay, there's your answer. Let's go to, who's our other caller? Oh, we're out of time anyway. I am sorry. Bob Chapman, thank you for joining us today on the Power Hour. Thank you so very much. Go to theinternationalforecaster.com. And Ted Anderson, thank you for offering up the Frank plus the International Forecaster. You buy one Frank, you get the International Forecaster. Thank you very much, Bob, for joining us today, as usual.
See you in a couple of weeks, and thank you all for listening.
Thank